Hi, everyone. This video is going to be about doing image retouching. And that's a kind of a difficult one because I'm not into heavy image retouching where you fix every blemish and make everything body contoured and stuff like that. But I am a photographer. So this is kind of focused on editing techniques, but it's really motivated by kind of why a photographer might want it in the image, not just about making the subject look all perfect. So I'm gonna flip over to Photoshop. Okay, so you might have recognized this image from when we did the skin color editing in a different video. We're gonna use it again. And so when you look at this image, as a photographer, I want you looking right here. That's the first place I want you to look. And I want that to have impact. The second place I want you to look is right there. And then the third thing I want you to do is kind of take the whole thing as a composition. Maybe you like find the flowers interesting or something like that. So what do we do to make that happen? Well, the two different things. The first one is what is getting in the way of any kind of immediate focus that's going to land right here. There's not a lot in this image, and that's fine. There's a little, there's not a lot. But this is how I like to do it. I want it to come off the camera as close as possible as to what I want. So I'm going to choose this spot healing brush. I'm trying to make the little dialogue come up. So spot healing. I know all about rubber stamp and have used that plenty, but I think spot healing is full of magic. Absolutely love it for these like little tiny spot retouches. So I'm just going to go in here. And, you know, this right here might be a little tiny bit distracting. So just going to nuke that out. Oh, I actually see an eyelash. And this might seem small, but it's right in the area that I want you to be looking at. So even if you didn't consciously see this, this is a potential distraction here. So we're going to take that eyelash out. If you didn't see that, I'm gonna go in a little further. See the eyelash there? Bye-bye. And just, I wouldn't normally go through and get little sunspots and stuff, but we're right next to the eyes, which is what I want people looking at. So I'm going to just a little bit of cleanup on that. I'm not going to touch any skin wrinkles or anything like that. I don't agree with that kind of editing. A little bit distracting there, a little bit of something there, a little bit of something there. Oh, I see another one. Okay, so I said that I wanted the focus to be eyes first, right? That area. And then I want you to look down here. And I see three things actually. First one is there is lipstick on her teeth. So that's easy. Now there's not. Second is right here on the upper lip. If I zoom back, and it's good to look at this from different distances as you go along. So first the attention goes to the eyes. Then we come down here. What are you looking at? I want you on this highlight. That's what I think looks cool down here. I don't want you up here on this little deal on the top lip. Don't want you looking at that. So I'm gonna kill that. And then there's another one on the chin right here. It looks like something was covered up with makeup or something. So we're gonna just kill that too. And there's something there. And there's a little hair right there. And there's something right there. Okay. So now I've got something. Sorry, this is going to drive me nuts. I'm just going to take that guy out too. All right. So now I don't really feel like I have anything distracting from what's happening visually. So again, we want eye here, then down here, and then you're free to wander around and explore the image. So for this to have impact, there's more we can do. So I'm just going to basically duplicate this background layer. Plenty of ways to do this, but I just select all and then hit copy paste. So now I have another layer here that's exactly the same as the background. And this one we're going to call sharpen. And this is really easy. You go to filter, sharpen, smart sharpen. And the sliders happen to be in a place that I like them because I do this a lot. So they might be all up here. Radius, I think, usually starts at 1. And then reduce noise is usually low, like that. So when you come in here, I don't know what it's going to look like. It might not even, I think it defaults to lens blur, which we don't want in this case. So I'm going to do Gaussian blur, and then I'm going to get this is a high res image. So the radius is going to come up, and we got to be pretty aggressive with the noise reduction, because this is going to amplify any kind of grain and noise that we have in the image. So we want to both sharpen and not add really distracting noise at the same time. This is hilarious. There's a reflection in her eyeball. Look at that. This is how they solve murders on Law and Order. There's a reflection of the killer in her eye. That's me actually there in front of the glass. So if we could just enhance that, you know, there's a reflection of the killer in the eye. Just enhance that. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I'll get back to this. So I like where these sharpen settings are. I'm looking at the eyes. So, and I'm ignoring a lot of other stuff here. I'm really just want to look right here. So you can kind of put these where you want. I like these settings. So we're gonna go with them. Okay, so this is where things get kind of fun and interesting. We're gonna mask this layer, and if you haven't done that, it's this little icon down here at the bottom, add layer mask. I'm sure there's a menu option to do it. I just don't know what it is. So a layer mask is a mask, exactly what it sounds like. And you can see that I can select either the pixels in this layer or the mask on the layer. And wherever this mask is white, it's going to let all the pixels through or be visible on this layer. Wherever the mask is black, it's not going to let anything through. And that's where we want to start on this, because I only want to use this sharpen in a few places, and I mostly don't want it anywhere. So I'm going to set my foreground color to black, grab Mr. Paint Bucket, and just black this layer out. And notice I selected the layer, not the actual pixels. If you accidentally select the pixels, then just hit undo and go back to the layer. So from here, as I promised, what does come through is what gets painted white. So we're gonna grab the brush here, and that's really big. So I'm gonna come down a little bit. Yeah, I like that size. And now we're just gonna do some painting on the eyes. And also I want your attention down here, so I'm gonna paint a little on that highlight. This makes a really, really strong difference. So I don't know how much of this is going to read on YouTube with the compression and everything, but the difference between this and this is actually really strong. So we did two things. We did healing, a little bit of healing brush, just to fix what's distracting. I left all sorts of, things like that, like these moles down here. First of all, people have moles, and second, they're out of focus. So there's two reasons that they're not really distracting me or bothering me in this image. I would never ever go through and try to fix everything like that. And the second thing we did was this interesting sharpening layer that we selectively, using a mask, put just on the eyes, and then this highlight on the lips. Again, because I want to direct your eye. What I want to show you is that now I'm 100% sure that your attention is going right there when you see this image. And what I'll do is I'll look away from an image and I'll look back at it and see, one, where my eye goes there, and then two, did anything get in the way or start distracting me? And then where does it go next? There. And is anything distracting in this area? And we fixed all that too. Okay, and so then when you zoom out, your eye is kind of free to explore the rest of the composition. You can wander down here and kind of check out the flowers and the different elements. Okay, so I'm fine with the image here, how it is. Some people like to add vignette to do even more direction of the eye, because an argument could be made that this kind of area down here is actually pretty bright, and so kind of might be competing with where I want the eye to go. And the flowers also, these are pretty hot. I like I like the way that it is, and I think what we did up here is so strong against that dark background that I think will go like a magnet right where I want you to go. So I'm happy with the level of eye direction that we got going, but I just want you to see the technique. So the way I do vignette is really strange. I didn't learn this from anybody. I don't think I invented it. I'm sure other people do this, but it's something I just figured out, and it's weird. So I make a new layer. It's really easy, by the way. Make a new layer. Change the blend mode to soft light. Poor soft light has like almost no uses in life, but this is one of them. And then what we're gonna do is make a gradient. So paint bucket tool, hold that down, go to gradient tool, and we're going to use the circle one, which is already selected for me. So what this is going to do is create a kind of circle gradient type of a shape. Let me just show you without soft light so you know what the heck's going on. It's going to make this. Okay, that's what it's going to make. With soft light chosen, it's going to blend it interestingly. And the only thing that's really important on this is that the foreground color be a light that's pretty close to white. It's okay to add like a little bit of color if you want to like fake a little bit of like, I don't know, sunlight coming from a certain direction or something like that. I've done lots of things with soft light, and so but in this case, I'm really just showing you how to use it for a vignette type purpose. So something pretty dang close to white. And then on the background color of the gradient, the way the blend mode soft light works, if we're at 50%, it's not going to do anything to those pixels. So what's on the outside of our vignette down here, we're controlling what happens there, but we do want this to do something. So we got to make it darker. So we're going to come down here so that our vignette actually does something. And then you do not want this at 100% opacity. So I'm changing the transparency of this layer down to 50% is probably about right. And then we just draw a big circle. There. And again, that's a tad hot. So I'm going to bring that down a little bit. What it did down here isn't quite as dramatic as I wanted. So I'm just going to yank this down and we're going to draw that again. There we go. So now we've got like actual vignette action happening down there. And you could be the judge on this. Is this stronger with the vignette, or is that stronger just as it stands? You can't argue with the fact that this is directing the eye a little more towards the face. I'm really experienced with photo editing, so I immediately see the vignette action going on, and the face looks unnaturally bright for this whole composition. So I'd either come back on this. Let me just show you how I would probably actually do it. This is just too bright, so we're just gonna really come down on the face here. Draw another circle. That's a little better. So that's how the image started. And again, some distracting kind of amount of energy coming from the bottom of the photograph. And then with the soft light layer, we both kind of brought a little bit of a halo up here and brought down some of this stuff happening in the background. And I'll bring the opacity up a little bit so you can really see what's happening before, after. So that's just a fun way to use vignette if that's something that you want to do to direct the eye. So that might look to you as a really complicated way to do a vignette, but you have a tremendous amount of control over it. If I go back to the actual layer itself, we can put the highlight over here. Another thing that I do a lot is just a straight directional gradient, and so I'll come in from one corner. Like if the sun is in that direction, I'll come in and help the sun out a little bit with some extra energy using soft light, just to show you kind of what that looks like. This wasn't our intention, so bear with me here. But see how there's a lot of light kind of coming in from this direction, and we want to kind of cheat it, I guess would be a good word, from this top left corner, which really makes no physical sense. So I'll draw it from the top right corner. Oops, lost my cursor there. There, that looks believable. That's a good cheat. So this is fake lighting, and it is a little bit more advanced use of soft light, and you can actually get into changing the temperature of that foreground color and get the exact kind of sunlight hue that you want or whatever. But so there's a lot of uses that go beyond just vignette. So healing, again, it's all about directing the eye. Healing on things that were distracting. Smart sharpen with mask on the things that we want you to pay attention to. And then this soft light vignette to kind of even pull even more towards the focus area of the image. Okay, so that's it. That was a lot of fun to do as a video. If you learned something or enjoyed this, hit like, hit subscribe. I'd love to have you around. Sharing this way is a lot of fun for me. I don't have dreams of having tons and tons of YouTube followers, but if this is your thing, hit the button, because I do like sharing it. I have to go to work. The only way I can fit these videos in is doing it in the morning. That's why everything's all in one take, because I don't have a ton of time to put into producing these. So thanks for watching. Sorry if it rambled on a little bit. There was multiple techniques that we hit on that. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. Bye.
Hi all.